Watch it get to work. Unlike the leading gel, Otis continuously eliminates opiates both in the air and on soft surfaces, so they don't come back. Lasts for up to 45 days. Now that's one flushing fresh bathroom. For Breeze, breathe happy.
For nearly 200 years, railways have created a legacy of stunning architecture. From beautiful rural stations to grand buildings in major cities. This is Growth and London's famous parks. From revolutionary viaducts. Nobody knows your key. She's got everything done for it. To gigantic signal boxes. These architectural gems are found in the most extraordinary places. Feels like a different world. I'm Tim Dunn. Join me as I explore the architecture the railways built. Catch up now on UK TV Play.
Our next round is called Quiz Night, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panelists. And this week, each of Lee's team will claim it's them. There was a genuine connection to the guest, and it's up to David's team to spot who's telling the truth. So, please welcome this week's special guest, Mary.
Hello.
Now, Mary is dog, not the handler. Okay? It's Mary. If Mary been the handler, it's not a dog. Okay, Alex, what is Mary to you?
This is Mary, the dog, and I had to spend an entire episode of the One Show covering up the fact that she'd been sick on.
Okay, so, John, how do you know Mary?
This is Mary. I am reciting a poem at her wedding.
John is Mary. Finally, Lee, what is your relationship with Mary?
This is Mary, although she was pining for her illness. I sat up with her all night and tried to comfort her with a song.
All right, David, see, where do you want to start?
Alex, why was Mary on the lunch?
She was adopted.
So if
I know you can't believe it.
a dog is ever abandoned in a ring, should it happen, they immediately get a slot on national television just to sort out, just to check that there are no dogs without homes.
Was it a day with me, Matt Baker, or was it Chris Evans?
It was me, Matt Baker. And Mary
It's me, Matt Baker, for the whole show.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Rob Crosby result.
So little Mary comes on the show, and we want to rehome her. We gave her lots of treats because she was on television. She came to sit on me, and then the treats all became a bit much. Under the lights, mess.
Okay, so you didn't have a story for one show. You scooped up a stray dog onto television.
Hello. I have one viewer. So I'm going to be really boring and not do anything at the moment, just until someone else joins. Otherwise, I'll be just speaking to myself. Unless you want to chat through the live chat. Ah. It's you. What are you so happy about? Oh, I see. I think you should drop it. I said drop it. And that's how he died. And that's how he died. So Dom, I'm going to be doing team names. So if you want to get ahead of the game and think of some team names. I've written down one team name, which I assume people are going to use. And if it matches, then you guys use a point. Likewise, if it's a good name, you'll get a point. Well, let's say teams, person. One man can be a team. For example, Team Turner is a team. Yes, I'll go with that. That's not a pun on wrestling. Which I didn't specify, so well done to you. So at least there's now a competition for you, Dom. There is one other viewer. I'm not sure who it is, but they are viewing. So whoever this other person is, I was just saying to Dom, gonna do team names. Obviously, it's not a team because you're just one person. Assuming you're one person. So if you could think of a witty team name, I've written down one team name that I've thought of already. If it matches your team name, then you lose a point. So you could be starting the quiz with minus a point. But also, if it's a good name, you get a point. So it's a case of, do you dare to team name? Just going to give it to about 5 past and then start the quiz. People miss out, then they should have been more punctual. So I've just got a message. Mark, you are the other person. So hello, Mark. There's a live chat, which should be, I think it's that way. Or it's be different if you're on your phone. It's just easier to do it that way because otherwise I'll probably just miss all your messages because I've obviously put my phone on silent. Because some twat will probably phone me. So I've got another viewer. So Dom, you've not automatically won tonight. So like I say, I've just been explaining doing 8 team names. However big your team is, probably just one person. If not, then you're breaking the law and being illegal. So shame on you, and you've forfeited the quiz. But yeah, keep going. Sorry, I just rambled to no point there. So if you can think of a team name, just post it in the live chat. I have written down a generic team name, which I think some people might use. So if people are going to use that team name, then they for being unimaginative, they lose a point before even starting the quiz. Dom, it looks like you're well, first of all, you're the only one who's actually writing anything, so well done for that. I've got Team American Alpha, which isn't. Oh, there's no I in Team America Alpha, which is quite dated. Well done. So I assume people are drinking tonight. I know I am going to need a drink tonight, as I am shitting myself about doing my first quiz. So let's see how that goes. Oh, Sam, you've missed nothing. I was just saying to people if they can think of a team name for their one-person teams. One team name. Yeah, if you do team names now, or you could do it throughout, I guess. Sign like no. All right, that's Tash. Hi, Tash. I don't know where Kelly is. Probably out killing. Right. So I'll start with the quiz. So welcome everyone. Someone's just dropped out, so fuck you. So it is a pen and paper job. So first question. So I've split these into categories. So there's going to be about 40 questions. Some of them are multiple points for the answers. So let's start. So the first round is on WCW, which everyone will now internally groan. So the first question is, with 173 wins and 0 defeats, what wrestler had the largest debut winning streak in the company? Okay, so the second question. By the way, let me know if I'm going too quick, too slow, if you need repeats, that sort of thing. Don't really want to read every question out twice. So my follow-up question is, who ended the unbeaten streak? And can you name the famous spot that led to the finish? So it wasn't the last move, but there was a key part that led to the end of the match. Okay, question 3. WCW's most known group was obviously the NWO, which consisted of Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Hulk Hogan. But who was the next person to join the group? So that was quite a long-winded question. So WCW's most known group was obviously the NWO. It consisted of Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Hulk Hogan. But who was the next person to join the group? Question 4. Eddie Guerrero formed a spin-off of the NWO, but what was their name? So again, Eddie Guerrero formed a spin-off from the NWO, but what was their name? Okay, question 5. What was the name of the faction headed by Raven? He did have another group in ECW, but again, this round is solely on WCW. So I've just been informed that someone's having technical issues, so they can't post at the moment. But their team name is the Hard D Boys, which is currently the better name, as there's only 2, and one is a Team America joke. So about 15 years old. Move on. Speaking of moving on, so question 6. Question 6. Before being rebranded as WCW, they were previously known as WCCW, but what did that stand for? So they were previously known as WCCW, but what did that stand for? Question 7. On TV, WCW had 2 wrestlers dump their belts into bins. What were the 2 titles? So there's a point for each, or however you want to score it. So on TV, WCW had 2 wrestlers dump their belts into bins. What were these 2 titles? Wrestling Insomniacs, I guess, is Sam. Is Where's Kelly your team name, or are you just asking where your girlfriend is /fiance /person is? Has she run away from you? If not, this would be a bit of an awkward time. Okay, so next question is, speaking of throwing titles in the bin, who did David Arquette pin to win the WCW World Heavyweight Championship? So who did David Arquette pin to win the WCW World Heavyweight Championship? Question 9. Hulk Hogan had the longest combined reign as a champion, but how many days was it? So this is multiple choice. So is it 596, 901, or 1,177? So Hulk Hogan had the longest combined reign as a champion, but how many days was it? Was it 596, 901, or 1,177? So question 10. So WCW loved a terrible gimmick for a match. One of these is known as a San Francisco 49ers match, which had nothing to do with American football at all. It was just a random name. I guess they just thought of. So it had a crate hanging from a pole in each corner, which contained an item in each crate. Can you tell me the 4 items that were in the crates? So there's a point for each on this one. So question is, in the San Francisco 49ers match, which had nothing to do with American football, which I feel is a little clue. But can you tell me what were the 4 items? Okay, so round 2. So the last question about the San Francisco 49ers was obviously a Vince Russo idea. So the next round is called Russo or No So. Pause for effect. So I'm going to give you ideas and gimmicks for matches, and I want you to say if it's Russo or No So. So it's basically just true or false. Were these matches Vince Russo ideas or were they not? Dom, to explain the joke, No So rhymes with Russo. Yes. So question 1 is a hair versus mask tag match. So the losers either have to unmask, or if the other team lost, they had to both shave their heads. Brood Age Outlaws is quite good. Ish. So if you want more details, well, there was wrestlers and they came down a ramp and they fought. And once the victor had been decided, then that was it. So question 2 is a blindfold match. So both competitors cannot see. They have to feel around the ring to find the opponent. So was that Russo or not so? Or no so? So yeah, the entire round is, did Vince Russo come up with these ideas? Have I made them up? If he came up with the ideas, just write Russo. If you think I made them up or someone else made them up, then just put no so or not so, or however, just put no. How can you not understand? Am I being like? Is Dom being stupid, or am I just not being clear? So Vince Russo used to think of match ideas. Did he write these ones? Or did he not write these ones? So question 3 is Buff Bagwell's mum on a forklift match. Self-explanatory. I'm glad someone feels thrown. So question 3 is Buff Bagwell's mum on a forklift match. Question 4 is sumo monster truck match. Excuse me. So 2 monster trucks trying to knock one another out of a circle, which is on top of a building. So it's a sumo monster truck match. There's 2 monster trucks, each trying to knock the other one out of a circle, which is on top of a building. Question 5 is Viagra on a pole match. Again, kind of self-explanatory with sexy results. So question 5 is Viagra on a pole match. Was it Russo or No-So? Question 6. A real shoot fight match in which both competitors were given boxing gloves and could either box or use takedowns to score points against their opponents. So question 6 is a real shoot fight in which both competitors were given boxing gloves and could either box or use takedowns to score points against the opponent. So, question 7? Yes, question 7. Yes, that will do. A reverse battle royale in which everyone starts outside the ring and their aim is to get inside the ring. Then once they're inside the ring and enough other competitors are inside the ring, they then have to act like a normal battle royale and throw the opponents out until there's only 2 left, and then it's just a normal match. So it's kind of confusing. So it's a reverse battle royale in which everyone starts outside the ring. They then have the goal to get into the ring. Once there is then enough people in the ring, it becomes a normal battle royale or Royal Rumble until there's only 2 left, and then those 2 just fight as a normal match. Question 8 is a King of the Road match. So 2 wrestlers in the back of an 18 wheeler that they're driving down the road, and they have to attempt to reach the driver's cab to ring a bell. So a King of the Road match is two wrestlers fight on the back of an 18-wheeler, and which are driving down the road, and they have to make their way to the driver's cab at the front of the truck and ring a bell to win. Question 9 is leather jacket on a pole match. So there's a pole, it's a leather jacket, it's a match. Moving on. Question 10 is a 4-count match. So it's a Falls Count Anywhere match, but the opponents must pin the other for a count of 4. So question 10 is a 4-count match. It's a Falls Count Anywhere. I don't think I said that in the first time. So it's Falls Count Anywhere, but the opponent must pin the other for a count of 4. Sam, like I said before, I'll ask you the questions after the feed. So you can have a true score. A true score. So round 3 is name the wrestlers. So what is their real name? A lot of the older wrestlers I found out have literally just changed their was Judy Bagwell on a pole match? Judy Bagwell on a pole. Nice. Sorry. Yeah, what are the wrestlers' real names? I found out that a lot of the older wrestlers have literally just changed their name to what they were known as in WWE/F. I suppose it's just easy for copyright. Hashtag Cody Rhodes. So question 1 is, what is the wrestling name of Michael Higginbottom? Bottom. So what is the real name of Michael Higginbottom? Michael Higginbottom. Question 2. I'll give a bit more time. So question 2, what's Glenn Jacobs' real wrestling name? What's Glenn Jacobs' wrestling name? It's not Notts County Man. So what is Glenn Jacobs' wrestling name? Question 3 is Steve Anderson. So what is Steve Anderson's wrestling name? Question 4 is Paul Levesque. I probably butchered that name a little bit. Paul Paul Levesque. Paul Levesque. It's spelled Levesque. Levesque. Levesque is Paul Levesque. Question 5. Terry Bollea. Bollea. So it's Terry, how it's normally spelled. The sister of Sherry. It's Bollea. So Terry Bollea or Bola. Question 6 is Oscar Gutierrez. What's his wrestling name? So Oscar, and then Gutierrez, Gutierrez. Question 7. Michael Mizanin. Michael Mizanin. So Michael, and then Mizanin. Hopefully my twitchy eyes didn't give it away. Question 8 is James Hellwig. James Hellwig. So James, Hellwig. Hellwig. I need to get some graphics so I can have it along the bottom like bullseye. Hellwig. Question 9 is James Morris. Well, good luck for everyone. Hello, Chloe. What time do you call this? I can just send you the questions later if you want to do it carry on later. There's pretty much just one round left. So where was I? Question 9. So James Morris, what's his wrestling name? And question 10 is Monty Sop. What's his wrestling name? So it's spelled, first name is Monty, so Monty, and last name Sopp. So Sierra, Oscar, pineapple. So round 4 is just general knowledge. So question 1 is, in the feud between Al Snow and the Big Boss Man, in which Al Snow was fed his own dog, what was the name of the gimmick match that ended the rivalry? So in the feud between Al Snow and the Big Boss Man, in which Al Snow was fed his own dog, I think it was called Pippa, Peppy, Pepper, Peter Piper. What was the name of the gimmick match to end the rivalry? Question 2. Who was the first Money in the Bank winner? So if you're going to be a dick and say the first match in the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, I don't know. But yeah, the Money in the Bank match, the first time it was fought, who won it? Question 3 is, how many times was Rowdy Roddy Piper WWF/WWE World Champion? So how many times was Rowdy Roddy Piper WWF/WWE World Champion? That's when you know you've got a crap webcam, when you can't see the slash. I should, next time I get a new computer, I'll ask if it's slash proof. So question 4. The Brawl for All competition was created purely by Vince Russo. Sorry, was created by Vince Russo purely because he wanted to see what wrestler get knocked out. Physically get knocked out. So the Brawl for All competition was created by Vince Russo purely because he wanted to see which wrestler get knocked out. Chloe, if you're just viewing, you can actually score a point by not participating. Whoever thinks of the best team name / person name gets a point. I've written down a team name which is quite generic and boring, which I think people might go for. If they do, then they lose a point. So you could actually not participate and leave with minus a point or plus a point. Question 5. Who was originally penciled in to join Triple H, Ric Flair, and Randy Orton in Evolution before being replaced by Batista because he didn't look right on camera? So who was originally penciled in to join Triple H, Ric Flair, and Randy Orton in Evolution before being replaced by Batista because he didn't look right on camera? Question mark. So question 6. Who was the last person to beat Brock Lesnar in a non-pay-per-view televised singles match? So who was the last person to beat Brock Lesnar in a non-pay-per-view televised singles match? Question 7. Who was the winner of the Body Slam Yokozuna competition? So question 7. Who was the winner of the Body Slam Yokozuna competition? Basically, people were just given turns to see if they can slam a fat man. Hashtag body shame. Question 8. What 2 members of DX never fought matches while they were members of the group? So what 2 members of DX never fought matches while they were members of the group? Question 9. What were the 3 faces of Foley? So there's a point for each. I should say are the 3 faces of Foley. He's not dead. But his faces might be. Okay, and the last question is, how long was the quickest WWF / WWE match on record? And bonus points if you can name any of the participants. So how long was the quickest WWF / WWE match on record? And for a bonus point, can you name any of the participants? And don't just put an answer, yes, I can name them. Please name the participants. Sam, what question did you join in on? I'll just quickly go through them while people are kind of checking out their answers and stuff. Three, 5, 6, and 7. Three, 6, 7, 8. It's weird weird order. So question 3. So question 3 is WCW's most famous group is the NWO, consisting originally of Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Hulk Hogan. Who was the next person to join the group? So who was the 4th member of the NWO? Question 5 is, what was the faction headed by Raven? So what was the faction headed by Raven? Question 4 was Eddie Guerrero formed a spin-off of the NWO. What was their name or their initials? Um, 6 was before they were known as WCW. What were they previously known sorry, they were previously known as WCCW. What did that stand for? Absolutely nothing. Question 7 is, on TV, WCW had 2 wrestlers dump their belts into bins. On TV, what were these 2 titles? And question 8 is, who did David Arquette pin to win his belt, the WCW World Heavyweight Championship? And if you want more time, you should have come a bit earlier. Right, so that's everything. That's all the questions. So we'll go through the answers. Although, yes, answers. So the first answer was Goldberg, or Bill Goldberg, or El Goldbergo, his non-unionized equivalent. Question 2, the answer was Kevin Nash, and it was a stun gun or a cattle prod was used on Bill Goldberg by Scott Hall. Question 3, the 4th person to join the NWO was Ted DiBiase. So yeah, Ted DiBiase. Question 4, it was the LWO, which stands for Latino World Order, or Latin World Order. I'll accept that. Question 5, they were called Raven's Flock because he's a bird. Answer number 6 was World Class Championship Wrestling. Yeah, the Flock will do, I guess. Give you half a point. So World Class Championship Wrestling. The 2 belts that were thrown in the trash were the WWF Women's title and the WCW TV title. I actually found this out quite recently while I was doing the looking at questions, and there's like an interview where it's just Scott Hall. He's just like, don't really want this belt. So him and Nash do a bit of play a bit of basketball with it, and he slam dunks it into a bin, which is randomly being interviewed by Chavo Guerrero. And then the belt was found a few weeks later by Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who just so happened to be going through the bins and became the champ just by going through the bins, basically. Yeah, so Class was the other C. Then they lost all Class. Whee! So David Arquette pinned Eric Bischoff to win the title. I believe it was a tag match. He wasn't champion. Dallas was champion, and whoever did the pin won the belt because they couldn't be asked, I guess. Question 9. The answer is it was a combined 1,177 days. The answer to 7 was women's title, the WWF women's title, and the WCW TV title. So yes, 1,177 days by Hogan. So the 4 things that were in crates are, so you get a point for each of these. The belt that they were fighting over, so a championship belt. Doesn't matter which one you put. A coal miner's glove. So yeah, there was a coal miner's glove in a box. A blow-up doll. I can't confirm if it had been blown up, but probably, because it's funny because of plastic nudity. Yeah, it was the WCW main title. Booker T dropped it, and the cameraman picked it up. So the cameraman should have technically been the champion. Anyway, the 4th thing that was in a crate was a framed picture of Scott Hall. I assume just so he could remind people their place. So round 2 was Russo or No So. It will catch on. So first one was by Russo. The second one was No So. Third one was Russo. I'll go through these again. Number 4 was No So. 5 was Russo. 6 was Russo. 7 was No So. 8 was No So. 9 was Russo. 10, No So. So Russo, not so, Russo, not so, Russo, Russo, not so, not so, Russo, not so. Round, well, at least I enjoyed that. Strangely, they were all actually matches as well, apart from the 4-count match. I don't think that happened, but I'm sure there was a few botches in matches where it seemed like it was a 4-count match. So, real wrestlers' names. First one was Shawn Michaels. So Michael Higginbottom is Shawn Michaels. Glenn Jacobs one is Kane. Third one, I think it was Steve Anderson. That's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Paul Leviska is Triple H. Terry Bull, Terrible Leah was Hulk Hogan. Steve Williams was his original wrestling name, but his birth name is Steve Anderson. Oscar is Rey Mysterio. The guy whose basically name was Miz is The Miz. Number 8 is The Ultimate Warrior. That's his name before he changed it to Ultimate Warrior. Number 9 is James Ellsworth, because I thought I'd remind everyone that he was a thing. So it's James Ellsworth. And Monty Sob, which is the best name I've ever heard, is Billy Gunn. I would have preferred him to just keep the name Monty Sob and just have a monocle and look a bit soppy. And number 9 was James Ellsworth. So the last round, 10 more, it was a Kennel from Hell match, which gets mentioned quite a lot in What Culture and stuff, because it was built that it was a cage match inside a Hell in a Cell, and in between the two cages were rabid dogs, but it was just dogs on leashes that got a bit scared of the crowd and just did a little wee. I think some tried to humping each other, that sort of thing. Wrestling. Number 2, The Miz was the first winner of the Money in the Bank. Answer 3 was dog collar match is something you get on Tinder. Question 3, the answer was Piper never won the main belt, probably known as the main guy not to win the belt, I guess. There's probably others, but question 4 was Bradshaw. Basically, Russo overheard Bradshaw say, "I could knock anyone out." So he came up with a whole concept of a whole tournament just so he could see Bradshaw get his ass kicked, which is a good thing because he's a prick. The original penciled in guy for the first winner of the Money in the Bank at the event, I did say at the event, grey area. So the first guy was Mark Jindrak. You know, who you meant, the spelling doesn't matter. It's a bit of a weird one to spell. Number 6 is last time Brock lost a non-pay-per-view televised match was against Zach Gowen in 2003. So he's not lost where people have to pay extra money for 17 years. So Zach Gowen. The Slam Yokozuna competition was won by Lex Luger. Number 8, 2 members of DX who didn't fight while they were members of DX was Rick Rude and Mike Tyson. So Rick Rude was one of the first members of DX. I think he was just there. He also famously appeared on Raw and Nitro on the same night because of recordings and stuff. The 3 faces of Foley are Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and Mankind. And the last question, so the quickest time is 3 seconds, which was Jerry Lawler, Chris Jericho, Taz, and Naked Mideon, or Mideon, depending on if you want him clothed. So yeah, the reason why it was 3 seconds is apparently Lawler was did a roll up on Mideon while the bell was being rung. Which I don't think is in the rules. I think you have to be like neutral areas, but they just want to be the quickest and the best at everything. Number 3 was Piper Never Won It. So that's it. Should be out of 52. Don't know how everyone scored. Dom, the answer to 3 was he never won it. Piper never won the main belt. So that's the quiz. Yeah, how did people get on? Was it a bit hard? Was it easy-ish? Should I do this again? Should I just never go near YouTube again? Just leave it for people who are competent. Just let me know. Send me messages, comment on here, whatever. So yeah, how did people do? Post in the thing, or like I said, just message me. Doesn't really matter. So that's me done. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and good day to you, madam/sir. And now it's just a bit awkward because I have to say bye and then press the button.